Hi, welcome back. I'm Paul Chartier. From Amachi, we have Maggie Middleton, the program director, and Alonzo Allen, who is a mentor. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Matching toes and everything. Maggie, Amachi's been on before, and similar to what Lighthouse is talking about, you do some things with men. Talk about your fantastic programs.
We do. So we are a one-on-one mentoring program for children and youth who have ever had a parent or relative who's been in jail or in prison. And we work with a lot of boys. Alonzo here is one of our mentors. We have a lot of boys that are living in female-only households that maybe don't get to see their dads a lot, so they just need a guy to spend time with them. We also have girls in our program, but we have a lot of boys that just need kind of some extra guy time in their life.
How long have you been with Amachi?
I've been there a little over 8 years.
That's a long time. You've got a passion, obviously, for what you're doing. And, you know, a lot of nonprofits, the people find their niche and they just kind of, they don't hop around like other professions do. When you find it, you go. And I can tell the look on your face, you love what you're doing.
I do. I'm passionate about it.
And Alonzo, you're a mentor.
Yes.
How long have you been a mentor?
I've been a mentor for almost 1.5 years. My mentee is 9 years old, and I spend a minimum 1 hour a week with him.
And talk about, what's his name?
Isaiah.
And what school does he go to?
He goes to Garth Middle School in Scott County.
Okay. And
I'm sorry, Garth Elementary.
Do you live in Scott County?
I do, yes.
So it's good that you live close by. Talk about him a little bit.
He's great. He's very competitive. We have competitions with everything. It's something as simple as who can buckle their seatbelt the first is the winner, which teaches him a life skill,
Absolutely.
Right? So, you know, you get nothing other than bragging rights till the next time the car moves again. But that's great. You know, we're always laughing and we're always challenging each other and things. We play a lot of checkers. We go to the Scott County Public Library and we play checkers a lot. Checkers, there's a lot of life skills in checkers. Problem solving, strategic thinking, planning, all that's in there. So he's gaining those skill sets. When we first started playing, he would move backwards or, you know, incorrectly. Now he is so good, he corners me and he gets me, you know, kind of nervous sometimes. So I've told him next we got to move to chess. So
even more thinking.
Yes.
It's amazing that busy people take time out of their lives and become mentors. How did you start becoming a mentor?
It was a calling that I knew God had placed on my heart years ago, and I ran from it. There was some fear, apprehension about, you know, stepping out there. Talked to Amachi, talked to Maggie and the staff, and a lot of encouragement about, you just jump into this, just do this. Initial training from Amachi was excellent. Constant follow-up, how are things going? So they really make it easy, and I appreciate that from you guys.
Do you have a family?
Yes.
How does your family feel about your time away from them? Do you have children?
I have grown sons.
Okay, so they're gone.
They're gone.
Okay.
Yes.
So how does your wife think about you kind of stepping away, spending time with a young man?
She loves it. She volunteers a lot herself. So this part of our life, we're able to do some volunteer work. So this is the next phase for us.
We'll get back to this in a minute. Talk about Amachi. How many men, how many children, how many, tell me the impact of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we have about 160 kids who are matched with, they each have their own mentor. We have about 35 kids on our waiting list, and more than 25 of those are boys. And a lot of times those boys have been on the waiting list for 6 to 12 months or more. And so it's a little bit harder sometimes to recruit men, but they're just kind of gold in the pocket.
What's the magic that you see happen when these kids have a male figure in their lives again?
I think it's sort of what Alonzo just shared. It's being available and being consistent and just kind of showing up every week and increasing kind of their access to opportunities. I know that Alonzo took his mentee to the emergency system, to paramedics in Scott County, and so he got that opportunity. He's always taking him to community events, introducing him to people, and just kind of giving him a glimpse of what his future could look like.
Entertainment factor aside, what have you seen to be the change in your and tell me his name again?
Isaiah.
Isaiah. What's the change that you've seen in Isaiah?
When he meets people, the one thing that we talked about is when you meet people, look them in the eye, shake their hand, tell them your name, you know, speak up, and he is really doing that. He met the mayor of Scott County, Mayor Prather. He's met the judge executive. He's met the economic director, and they have all said this is a phenomenal young man. So, and you know, it's just keep continuously exposing him to things like that. So,
everybody who I've ever talked to about volunteering, they get more out of it than the person that they are helping. What have you gotten out of this, Alonzo?
I've gotten to reconnect, I guess, my childhood a little bit, just with that competition thing that we're always driving for that, and just a joy just to get to spend that time with him and connect with him and see the aha moments that he has periodically. It's been a blessing for me.
Do you see, Maggie, a change in attitude, maturity, stability, grades? I mean, what do you see happen in these kids?
I see all of those things. I think the biggest thing is that kids have someone that's really positive in their life, just week after week telling them, I think you're smart, I think you're amazing, I think you're beautiful. And
we
just
need
to hear, oh, absolutely.
Let's get back to the kids.
But they're hearing those positive messages, and they know that no matter what happens, this person is just their cheerleader, and they want them to succeed, and they know that they can succeed. So because of that, when kids have greater self-esteem, they're going to try harder in school. They're going to be more excited about it if they know that someone's in their corner cheering them on.
This is a good time to give your website and phone number for people that want to get involved.
Yep, absolutely. Our website is www.amachiky.com. You can also look us up on any social media. Just type in Amachi Central Kentucky. Our phone number is 859-389-8279.
You need men.
Definitely, yes.
Men could be watching, or the wife or girlfriend, hey,
nudge them.
I love you around the house, but why don't you go do something with your time?
Yeah.
What can they expect in terms of, like Alonzo said, training, follow-up? What's the path? When they call you, what happens?
They will get so much staff support from us. We love our kids and we love the community, and so we get to meet the kids, and so we will interview the mentors just to get to know them, figure out who they would be a good match with. We will train them. We'll do all those kind of boring office things like background checks and reference checks. But we also, right, we also call and check in with our mentors at least once a month. We do the same with our families, and we also do quarterly events. So like last Saturday, we had a big bowling event at Collins Bowling, and Alonzo and his mentee were there, and it was really fun. This summer we will be doing a lot of events, so we try to provide just good, fun times for the whole Amachi family to be together.
Is this a finite, I mean, you can't say it's going to be a 6-monther, but at what point does the dad come back into the life of the child, or is it a high school graduation? What's kind of the timeline of what happens?
So what we ask for from our mentors, at least a year commitment, but it can go past that. I have some mentors who are on year 8. I see all sorts of different family situations. Sometimes maybe the parent who's been incarcerated does come back, and we ask them how they would feel about them continuing to have a mentor, and they always are very, very supportive of it and see this as a good thing in the lives of their kids. So it can, you know, a relationship doesn't really end, or at least we hope not, and so we continue those as long as everyone would like that.
Not exclusively, but primarily women, single moms, or women living by themselves have a child. What's the dynamic of the mom and her feeling about what Amachi's doing with her child?
I had a lot of support and great comments from our moms. One of the questions I ask at the beginning of the process is, why do you want your child to have a mentor? And definitely the moms of sons say, I'm trying to be a mom and a dad, but there's just certain things I can't do for my child. We also have a lot of grandparents raising grandchildren, and that's just really challenging, because I think they've finished, and now to keep their kids from needing to go into the foster care system, they're going to step in and take care of them, but they need just a little bit of support, and so we are a support to those families.
If Amachi was not around, you've got 100 and some, mostly boys, without a mentor. What does Lexington look like?
You know, I think it would be, I don't want to say worse off, but I think we have 160 people in 160 different parts of the city just being a positive force and teaching our kids to be leaders. So this is not just a present thing, this is a future thing. We are developing our future leaders of Lexington.
Absolutely. Alonzo?
Yes.
Your kids are gone. You're stepping into this world. Was it a little bit awkward getting back into the parenting thing, or how did that go?
It was a little awkward. We spent just a little bit of time just building that relationship before we really, started to do some of those real fun things. It's just spending a little bit of time together, reading some books and things of that nature. Now it's gotten to the point of, if I miss, if I'm not there on that Friday and I pick my son on Saturday, where were you Friday? What's going on with you? So it's fun now. It took I would say about 3 to 4 months to really build that relationship. That trust relationship has to be built first.
They say that with people that, not just children, when they go through something traumatic, when they get an animal, that they feel that love and they can then share it. Do you feel something yourself?
Certainly. We went to engineering day at the University of Kentucky about 3 weeks ago. He loved it. We get on the elevator and we go from second floor to the basement, push the basement button, the elevator gets stuck between floors. So he panics. I panic too, I'm a baby. No, I didn't panic. But there's that connection, we had that real bond there that I could reach out to him and let him know that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
And we made it through that 25 minutes of stuck on the elevator. So we watched the new UK football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We watched all his highlights, and he wants to be like Terry Wilson now. So,
a byproduct.
Yeah,
good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there was that opportunity there. So you never know when those opportunities are going to come. You just have to be aware and just watch for those and, and take advantage of those.
For people that may be a little bit timid, and here's a new young person in my life, and they're maybe on a path of whatever, discipline or keeping them on track, how's that working out?
If he was here, he would tell you that everything you do has a consequence. There's good consequences, there's bad consequences. Also, we've set some goals, such as if his grades are good, then we're going to go to watch Cincinnati Bengals play next year. So he understands that, and he'll talk to me about his grades. And my wife is a teacher, so she's able to tutor him where he's, deficient. So we go over to the house, and I'll say, look, he's struggling in math a little bit, or reading. She reads with him. I had read some article about boys learn best when they're active. So we were playing tennis this summer, and I was giving him multiplication tables while we're playing tennis. And he recalls that all the time. Remember when we was playing tennis? You used to give me all those and he did a lot better. So.
But the bad thing is, when he counts in school, there's no number 0. It's love. 1, 2, 3, love. What is that? What's that love? 0. We've got a couple minutes. Give the website and phone number again, if you would.
Absolutely. So machiky.com is our website. 859-389-8279 is our phone number.
And as I asked before in the last minute, what do you want to say to people that we've not talked about?
I would say think about being a mentor. Sometimes people get really intimidated by this concept, but really it's just about showing up, and it's about being present, and it's simple, but it's so meaningful.
I would think you don't need to be perfect, and anything that you give them is better than what they have right now.
Definitely.
Sure.
You're helping these young people, you're helping our community, but I think you're getting something out of it too.
Oh,
absolutely.
Alonzo, Maggie, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I'm Paul Chartier. Go on the website, do something great with your time, become a mentor. Thanks for watching Heart of Gold.